Eureka training video for the Eureka Kobra sweeper. I'll just let you see the sweeper here. Just let you see the main brush of the machine, which is located under here, if you can see the main brush. And whilst you're there, it's surrounded by rubber flaps, and I'll just lift the flap up. You would only lift the flap up if there was something slightly larger than dust or debris. Just lift it up and the main brush will throw that into the main bin. I'll put it back down. So this sweeper will pick up anything dry, ideally dust, debris, stones, general bits and pieces. The only thing to stay away from is wet, damp conditions. Stay away from shrink wrap, banding, cable, anything similar to that could wrap around the main brush and damage the main brush or the machine. There's also a side brush here which is quite visible here. This is your side brush here. You would only use the side brush for scrubbing, sweeping the sides. You can put the main, I'll show you how to put the side brush down, which is just here. If you just pull that down, it puts the side brush down on the floor, and that's just going to get any sort of rubbish, debris for the side and throw it in for the main brush to catch it. I'll just lift it back up. When you're using this machine, majority of the time you should just be using it with the main brush operating underneath with the side brush in the up position. The main brush shouldn't throw out any dust or debris because it's surrounded by rubbers. The side brush might create a wee bit of dust, so we don't really want that. And I'll just let you see here as well, where we're showing the rest of the stuff is here. We've got a vacuum here. The vacuum's currently at off. We would have the vacuum to on. The vacuum is for fine dust control. So in most dusty environments, you'd want the vac on. If you were going, I would say always stay away from wet and damp conditions. If there was anything you needed to go through, which was damp or wet, I would switch it to the off position. And whilst we're here as well, I'll just show you the battery indicator light. We have red for getting into less charge. We have orange in the middle for half charge, and we have green for full charge. So once you start using the machine, you probably get around 3 hours running time on the machine, and it'll be at green. After maybe a couple of hours, it'll go down to the orange light, and then when it goes into red light, it'll be showing you that it's running flat, and then it'll be a case of getting the machine in charge. So run the machine for around 3 hours, and then go and put the machine in charge. I'll just show you here as well, we've got the ignition switch here, just for on. So if you just turn this to the on switch, take a couple of 3, 4, 5 seconds to load up, should go to green, showing the machine's fully charged. And the side brush, once you put the machine on, while the side brush is up or down, the side brush will constantly run, and the main brush will constantly run once the ignition's on. And if you come to the back of the machine here, you've got 2 handles here as well, 2 propellers. So the one on the left hand side is for traction. So the more you pull this handle up, the faster the machine will go. And the one on the right hand side is the dust flap, which we'd shown you earlier. If you pull this lever, it'll lift up the dust flap if there was any sort of larger bits of debris for the main brush to catch to then throw into the bin. And whilst we're at the back of the machine here, I'll just show you the bin. This here is a filter shaker. So every 15 to 20 minutes in dusty environments, we would just clean the filter. So it's just a manual filter shaker. You just pull this up and down every 10-15 minutes or so, and it just shakes your filter into the bin. And whilst we're at the back, I'll just unclip this here. So just with your hand, unclip this here, lets us into the back bin compartments. These 2 separate compartments just lift out. You can put these into bags and dispose of them however you guys dispose of your rubbish. And again, this is on wheels as well. So I'll just wheel it back in. Push in. A wee lift up, clicks in here, and that's you locking your bin in. At the front of the machine, I'll just show you as well, there's a caster wheel here. And the caster wheel here, you can actually press this down and lock it on, but we would recommend, as long as the machine's on a flat surface and switched off, the machine shouldn't go anywhere. But if you do want to push this down, you can, and it'll. So just ensure that the brake is currently on, so just ensure whoever goes to use it next, make sure the brake is off, or it could damage the machine. Just to let you know, there's a chain here as well, just kind of dragging the floor. This is fine, this is actually an anti-static chain. There's a wee area at the back here, just lift up this hood here, and it just locks in, it just lets you into your battery. The battery is non-maintenance, so you don't need to do anything with the battery. The only thing, as I said earlier, is just let the battery run for around 3 hours, full charge, and then give it an overnight charge. We call it an overnight charge because it'll take from anything from 8 to 12 hours to give it a fully charged back up. But run the machine for the full 3 hours before putting it in charge. Don't be putting it in charge 2 and 3 times and taking it on and off. Whilst you're in here as well, it just lets you see in here, we've got the filter in here. This can actually lift off, as I showed you the filter shaker earlier. Just lets you just lift this off. Again, there's wee clips here. You just pull off just with your hand, you don't need any tools. There should be 6 wee black clips in here. You just pull this off. And again, this is maintenance you'd maybe do, but if you do shake the filter manually at the back, it is great. But you might want to give this a vacuum, depending how dusty the environment is, maybe once per week. You can see that there. Again, a wee hoover vacuum to just clean in here, just ensures keep your filter clean and keep it dry. And then I'll just slot this back in. Just goes back in, just fold these down here, and then just put your 6 clips back on, just to hold the filter in place. Then we'll just put this lid back on. Ensure the lid's flush. Also, when we're in here, I'll just let you see there's a reset button which is located here. If anything had to get caught in the main brush, it could trip this switch. So first of all, you'd make sure the machine's switched off, rectify the problem, i.e. maybe pulling out a large bit of debris or whatever it may be, and then you would just press this button in and then you should be good to go again. This is where you would also, there's a wee lift here as well, a lift lever, so it's locked in so it doesn't hit anyone. So again, just to bring that down, just press this up here and it just lifts back down. So the side brush on the machine, as mentioned earlier, is only for doing the sides, to get any rubbish from the likes of the wall or pallets, to throw it in for the main brush to then catch. So I'm going to put the side brush down here because I'm obviously at the side. So I've just got this wee black lever here, so it's currently up position. I'll put this in the down position, like so, like that, and that will throw any rubbish. I'll turn the machine on and then I'll get all the rubbish from the side. And then once I'm out, I can lift up the side brush. To charge the machine after you've used the machine for 3 hours or so, and once your red battery light's on, indicators on, then you would want to charge the machine. So again, what you would do after the shift, you would make sure that the bins are completely empty. You've shaked the filter, cleaned the filter, and the machine's all clean. And you just, this grey plug here, you just pull this out, and then you just get your charger. Whether it be 110 volt or 240 volt, you would just let us know what charge you require. Plug in this grey plug into the fixed one here, plugs in there, and then you get your charger. Make sure you plug into the machine first, and then plug into the wall, and then switch it on. And then if you look at the charger, it should take about 10 seconds to kick in, and then you should see the indicators, which is here. So it takes about 10-15 seconds. Goes into red, just showing that the machine's flat and it's currently charging. Once it's half charged, there'll be an indicator here, it'll go orange to show that you're half charged, and then after, depending on how flat the machine is, you should get a green light after about 8 to 12 hours or so. Ideally it'll be the next morning you come in and it's on green, and then that's your machine fully charged and ready to go. And you just switch the machine off from the wall, unplug the charger from the machine, which is here. Make sure your fingers are clear, you've got a wee handle here, push in, that should lock back in. As mentioned earlier, just pull this wee clip up and then you should be ready to go again.